We're starting the final assembly here. Here's the nose gear. I had to put the linkage on before I installed it so that the nuts and the extra length of screw can go up and out of the way. I'll show you on the airplane what we're talking about here. Well, that required a lot of amateur engineering. My normal push rods and linkages that I use, the ball joint type, even when I put it on with this side down, it scraped on the plastic. Wouldn't actually work. So I then tried some of these out of the kit itself, and these were for the control surfaces. The diameter on this was too big to get the set screw to go back in this part so it would screw down. So I opened up the aileron kit that comes with the Anaconda, and the rods for them were just a slight little bit smaller in diameter, and it worked out. So now I have a steerable nose wheel. And the ability with that to adjust it here to center it up. So that's done. The next part is this that I hadn't put in, and I mounted the plate that came with the gimbal on this. I had to drill new holes. These were the original holes. These four are the ones I drilled just a little bit forward, probably where I needed to put it. Probably should have drilled them back here, but it's done now. And then this will hold the gimbal with these vibration dampening. So I think I'm going to try this at first just with this screw holding it on through the battery tray. I may have to come back and glue this in later to keep it from vibrating around and stuff. We'll see. Well, there's the air unit placed in there about where it's going to be taped down. This is the nose wheel steering servo. This is the cabling that goes to the gimbal. There's a lot of extra for that. Have to tie wrap that up and put that underneath this battery tray. But that'll be double-sided tape down right there just in front of the flight controller. That lets the four DuPont connectors that connect to a UART connect easily. The power connector that's right here connected to the bench power supply right now will have a DuPont connector soldered to these two wires plugged into it, and that'll be plugged into the 12 volts on the flight controller, because I bridged the voltage on the flight controller up to 12 volts. Okay, let's see what it looks like here. All right, there we are. It's hanging from the front of the Anaconda. And we can pan left, go back to center, pan right, go back to center, all from within the app with what I've got wired up. like I say, the only thing else I need to do is the connections to the flight controller and finish up gluing it down and stuff. Yeah, so this can be moved completely out of the way like that. Switch back with Q ground control, move out of the way of Q ground control, do your flying with Q ground control. I haven't used Q ground control that much. I've always used Mission Planner because I was always RDO pilot, plane, copter, whatever. But it's not much different. There's not going to be a extreme learning curve on Q ground control. Let's see what happens if I go down. There we go. We're straight down. It doesn't go any more than straight down. But it does go straight down. And then of course it will go just a little less than all the way to the rear. The viewing angle on the camera isn't enough to quite see the rear completely. Just misses it a little bit there on the right, as you can see. I'll take it to the left. And you'll probably be able to see the propeller turning back there, but you won't be able to look straight back. If the field of view on the camera is just a little larger, that probably would have worked out. That's a shame. Such be life. And how much will it tilt up? Just enough to see the PDOT tube in the nose of the airplane. That's not bad at all. Overall, I'm pleased with it. Let's see, what else is next here? I'm going to add 3 7-inch extensions to the flight controller for aileron, ATEL. Throttle's already connected to 3, and 4 will be another ATEL extension. They'll come out through the top and be labeled, so I can hook the particular wires from the wing in easily to these. Get a piece of double-sided tape on the flight controller and the air unit there without the second protection taken off of it yet. Well, there's almost all my connections made. Airspeed sensor in the I2C here. GPS compass in the CAN bus. This is for the USB. This is telemetry from the Dragon Link, control from the Dragon Link. I'm taking the power over to the servo rail on the Dragon Link to channel 5 after I got in trouble with channel 5 on Express LRS. Not using channel 5 for modes much anymore. This is the nose wheel steering. I've got to get flaps in there someplace. I forgot about flaps. Right in here I'll pick up my 12 volts for the air unit, and then I've got to decide on a UART right in there for connecting the flight controller to the air unit. But I guess I need to solder up my power cable for the air unit. Now I have yet to do anything with these 2 big old antennas for the air unit. I'm thinking about bringing them all the way back here and bringing them out a 45-degree angle here. They say keep it away from the motor and the ESC, so ESC's way down there in the bottom here. That's still a good 6 or 8 inches away, but the motor's pretty close. I guess it'll cut down on range if the motor's a great problem. But both of these coming out right there and out of the way of the wings, I hope. We'll see. I'll make a hole and then bring them out from the inside. I keep wondering what I'm forgetting. I'm sure I'm forgetting something, probably something major. Flaps, I got to put on another little 7/8 extension for the flaps. We'll go ahead and put flaps and slats right here on channel 9. There we go. Got to get all those labels, so that leaves me 8, 7, and 6 to connect to there. And I've decided I'm just going to share 2 channels, the rudder channel and the nose steering channel, through the radio itself, so that when I move the rudders, the nose wheel will move in the correct direction. So that'll be 10. Okay. I think this is just about enough for this video. Trying to keep them short again. Everybody says they like them shorter. Sorry about that. Guess a lot of mine in the past have been too long. But I'm going to go ahead and start sorting up my power for the air unit and get me some labels to label all these extensions for ailerons. A-tail left, A-tail right, flaps, etc., etc. Alright guys, I'm going to stop here and say thank you so very, very much. Without you guys, I wouldn't be doing half as well as I'm doing. Thanks again. I noticed when I was putting the video together, I was blocking, my big fat hand was blocking stuff. Right here is the connector for the Dragon Link telemetry. The second wire is not in that. That's its voltage normally. Picking up voltage over here on the servo rail, which is 9 amps. This is only half, which you don't want to pick up voltage in 2 places on that receiver. That's why this voltage is also out of this control up here in front, because I'm picking it up over here. And I think that'll clarify that up. I'll be picking up in this area 12 volts to power the air unit, and I think that's clarified everything and got my big fat hands out of the way. Thanks again, guys.